Boker Tov, we're continuing the Mishnayot. We're in Masechet Pesachim Perek Hey, Mishna Daled. So there is a sin in the Torah where Hashem tells us, Lo tishchat al Hametz dam zivchi. You can't do the slaughtering of the Korban Pesach if you're still in ownership of Hametz. And therefore, says the Mishnah, Shochet ta Pesach ala Hametz, over belo ta'aseh. If you do the shechita of the Korban Pesach and you still own Hametz at that time, you have a violation of a lo ta'aseh, a negative commandment that you violated. Now, the Korban Pesach is still a kosher Korban. It's just what you did was you owned Hametz at the time, so that's in violation. But the actual Korban Pesach that you did is still kosher. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Af HaTamid. Rabbi Yehuda adds and says, even if you own Hametz, when the shechita of the Korban Tamid, which was prior to the Korban Pesach, as we explained, even if you have Hametz at that time, you're still in violation, but the ruling is not like Rabbi Yehuda. And then Rabbi Shimon has an opinion. Rabbi Shimon Omer, HaPesach be'arba'asar lishmo chayav, v'shelo lishmo patur. He says, when a person does the shechita of Korban Pesach, and you did it lishma, you did it properly, with the right intention, etc., as we spoke about in the past Mishnayot, intention plays a big role. You did the Korban Pesach with the right intention, etc., and you own Hametz at that time, that's when you're in violation. But if, let's say, your Korban Pesach that you did, you had the wrong intentions for the Korban Pesach. So if you had an invalid Korban Pesach, then you don't violate this sin. Even though you owned Hametz at that time, you didn't do a Shechita of Korban Pesach when you owned Hametz. You did an invalid Korban Pesach, and therefore, there's no violation. But he has a different stringency. Ushar kol hazevachim ben lishman ben shelo lishman patur. So he says the other korbanot. This is before Pesach, not a stringency here, but we'll see in a moment his stringency. Before Pesach, if let's say you do shechita to other types of korbanot on that day, you brought a donation korban, etc. Even if you did it with the right intention, even if you did it with the wrong intention, even if you own Hametz at that time, you're not in violation. You're only in violation on the Korban Pesach. But he adds, Uba Moed. Let's say on Pesach itself, you offer something, a sacrifice, and you say it's for Korban Pesach. You're a day late. You're a few days late. It's Korban Pesach is Erev Pesach. But you have in mind, I'm doing this Korban for the Korban Pesach, even though it's already late. So you do it lishmo patur. Even though you have the intention for Korban Pesach, it's an invalid Korban Pesach, and if you still own Hametz on Pesach at that time, which is a violation of owning Hametz on Pesach, but there's an additional violation of owning Hametz when you're doing these Korbans on Pesach, because it's not a Korban of Korban Pesach, it's not in violation of that sin. V'shelo lishmo chayav. But if you own Hametz on Pesach, besides for the violation of owning Hametz on Pesach, but you do another Korban on Pesach, a donation Korban or the Korban Chagiga, etc., you're going to be in violation of owning Hametz when you're serving a Korban, even though it's not Korban Pesach, any Korban. As the Rabbi Shimon says, the Pasuk, the Lo tishchat al Hametz dam zivchi. It doesn't specifically talk about Korban Pesach, but don't do a slaughtering of any animal when you own Hametz on Pesach. So you'll be in violation of that sin as well. Ben lishman, ben shelo lishman chayav. Meaning any Korban, even if you have the wrong intention for it, which intention is only there for the Korban Pesach. Other Korbanot, let's say Korban Shlamim, I want to bring a peace offering. But I had in mind, not for the peace offering, for a different type of offering, not a Korban Pesach. So even though you didn't have the right intention, it's still a valid Korban. And if it's a valid Korban and you own Hametz at that time, then you're in violation. Except for Chutz min hachatat sheshachat shelo lishma. A chatat, a sin offering, that has to have intention. Because you're offering this because you violated a sin, so you have to know that you're bringing a sin offering. As the Torah says, chatat hi, that is a sin offering. And you have to have intention for the sin offering. So if you don't have intention for the sin offering, then it's an invalid sin offering, and even if you own Hametz at the time, you're not in violation of that sin. So some technical points, but according to Rabbi Shimon, the opinion is not just on the Korban Pesach, but even other Korbanot. if you offer them on Pesach and you own Hametz, in addition to the violation of owning Hametz on Pesach, you're also in violation of doing a slaughtering on Pesach when you own Hametz. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashia